Hello, brothers and sisters. Welcome to my best my comments. I try to keep it down and nigga under 10 minutes. And if it goes over 10 minutes, that means something very fucking important. If you have any comments, suggestions, or questions, you put it down below. It will be monitored and it will be screened. It's educational, but it's also comical because basically I mix up my channel into a whole bag of full of things. I don't really keep it down to just one nitty gritty thing, just comedy. I mix it up with a bag full of things. So if you see comedy, you want to smile, you want to hear something, right? All right. And so if I don't make you smile at least one time, then it's okay. You can just fly your little ass to the page. I have a lot of funny videos. Sometimes I get real serious, okay? And so I don't have the time to be talking about, I'm not trying to make you smile or happy sometimes because I want to talk about some serious subjects sometimes. And this video is going to be, the video I just made, it was called Child Abuse, okay? This video is going to be made, it's going to be how to tell if your child is going to be an intellectual when your child gets older, okay? Now, okay, I wish this 1 minute of your time. If you have any questions, comments, or insults, you put it down below. When you have a child, okay, before I even had children, I had analyzed and did a lot of algorithms, computer analyzed algorithms on women I've dated, okay? And I've talked to hundreds of women, okay? Hundreds of them, yes. Okay, so basically I wasn't technically a virgin, okay, but I used a dildo because I didn't want my pure dick, which was getting sucked, okay, to get infected, okay, so I used a dildo. So I'm one of those guys who laid females side by side and I analyze their pussy, you know, smell it and stuff like that, and I'll just give you a judgment call on your health and your pH balance and shit like that. I'm kind of like a pseudo gynecologist, but really I do my research, and I have also a gynecologist friend who helps me out, okay? So I'm not really pseudo, okay? So, to make a long story short, if you have children under your pussy hole, you have to understand to get education before you have children. And a lot of women don't have father figures to keep them contained enough or disciplined enough to hold their pussy until they're the age of 25 or something like that. Most women in America, you lose their virginity at the age of 13 or around that area. To be exact, okay, around that area. And so what happens is that when these children are born, they create a society in which you see now, okay, all across and everywhere, of adolescents who are most likely delinquent juveniles, okay, or they don't have no focus on life or common sense, okay. It's not about education. It's about how much focus they are into themselves to keep themselves up and also to help others. No, most people don't think like that, dog. Now, okay, on to the subject. How to tell your child after it comes out of your panani, okay, will be smart or not. And how I know is because when I was a child, I did one particular thing that made it seem like I've been told many times by adults that you were different, okay? Maybe they told the other children you were special, okay? But I particularly had individuals who I focused on, and they told me the reasons why, okay? So these are the reasons how you would be able to tell if your child is going to be intelligent, brightly intelligent or not. The first thing is that they are very attentive to your eyes, okay? They're emotional, okay? They ask questions, okay? They they can sit in a room and play with their toys for long periods of hours. And a lot of people may say and try to relate to this. No, you don't, because a lot of children do play with toys, but only after a certain amount of time. Then they start to cry, then they start to whine. If they're whiny and they need more attention and more affection, then that's a bad sign. They need more attention, they need more affection. They know why. My sister was like that. Okay, I had a few kids that I was actually, and especially my sisters too, who cried a lot, and they're not going to understand society, so they're more likely to lean towards the religious side, the brainwashed side, the weak side, the people of the light, okay? I call the weak, even though the people of the white are very liberal, I call them light and blind. Light means blindness. Okay, darkness, you isolate it, you can think a little bit more. You're just blind when you see light, okay? But you can be blinded by darkness too, though. But that's how the way my philosophy works, okay? The light is always blinding. It's manipulative. But if you have a child who's actually trying to talk to you, communicate to you, when I see my daughter, okay, playing games, I know she's going to be bright when she gets older. Okay? I didn't like education in school. See, that's another thing too. If you try to force children into education, that's not a wise thing to do. But if you do try to give them education and their memory is clacking on very quickly, that's another sign. Memory. Memory is very important. Emotional animation, focus. You tell them something and they don't do it again. You don't have to whip them. Okay, these are great signs to know that your child is on the path of being brightly intelligent. This child also has a taste that my daughter likes to draw. She likes numbers and shit. She likes to put puzzles together. What kind of shit is that? Okay? I was into that when I was a kid. And I said, so it's a genetic thing. So if you have the genes of a smart individual, then that will come out in your child. So that's this kind of common sense, right? Duh. But that's how you will be able to tell. What else is there to tell if your child's, I already said before, focus and eye contact. Emotional needs, okay? They're not needy, super needy. They can focus in on like video games or something technical or something puzzles, okay? They don't really like socializing, okay? Antisocial equals more intellectual, okay? If you're too social, you're not very intelligent, okay? Because you can't learn things from the masses. Most masses are into various things that seem to waste time and leave the self. They seem to be focused on external things rather than just internal things to help others. Humanitarians, okay, are more likely to be more intelligent than those who are, the other way around, okay? Like the 13th zodiac sign. I always thought that there was another 13th zodiac. I always thought of myself as a Sagittarius, and I kind of I thought it was Orion, okay? And then I was right. I was partially right. It's right near Orion's belt and Scorpio in the sky, okay? Between November and December. That's called Orpheus. It's only 13 days long. I knew I was somebody different like Harry fucking Potter. Okay, I like magic. I like fantasy. Fantasy is also leading towards more higher end IQ. Okay, most people don't match these type of characteristics or traits when they're a child all the way up. Okay, so now you understand the gist of what I'm talking about here. That's how you can tell if your child is going to be bright or not. Okay, what else is there? There's plenty of other things too I'm missing too, but I'm a psychologist to a degree, but I'm not a full-fledged most psychologists don't remember everything they know, okay? So if you school them on it, they won't know. Most of the time when people go to school, these institutions, they lose probably almost 50% of the knowledge that they learn and obtain. So you should know this. This is a fucking fact. Right, my love? Everything is temporary. You go to school and you learn 100% of the institutionalized teachings, and then you forget 50% of it. You're gonna forget about it because it doesn't usually pop up in society. You have to re-educate yourself again. Okay? If you want to know if the child is like INFJ, okay, an introverted child, then you could easily tell just by the child going outside in public. The child doesn't want to go outside. Then you know that's a special fucking child. Now autistic now. Now, I already made a video upon the spectrum of autism. And as I said before, there are some autistics who are savants, who are Mensa and stuff like that, who basically remember things very well. And you have to be careful because they're not very social. They can't relate to social because the more autistic you go, the more strange it becomes. Okay, or indigo child. Okay, but if you go too far to the right, the more left you go on the spectrum, the more intelligent they become. The more right you go, the more retarded they get. Okay. Retarded like most of you motherfuckers. But of course, I digress here. But that's all I wanted to say to you brothers, sisters, or like, no, I was just rambling on a little bit. Sometimes I lose my train of thought. But of course, sometimes my wife makes noises, my cats make noises and shit. And you have a nice fucking day. If you have any questions, you put it down below. I already told you before. Peace.